I'm Sean with PSP Products, and in this video, we're going to cover installation and troubleshooting of the KTSE-1 Kohler Transfer Switch Expander. The KTSE allows installation of up to 5 Kohler single-phase RXT transfer switches on the same service. You'll notice that the KTSE and the ATS controller are mounted on the wall outside of the transfer switch. This is not typical. It's done only for the purposes of this video. The KTSE replaces the factory controller in each secondary transfer switch and makes the secondary transfer switches mirror the position of the primary transfer switch. The factory controller can then be returned to inventory. The first step in installing the KTSE-1 is to identify whether your primary transfer switch is the old style or the new style. The RXT transfer switch originally had mounting holes on the right side of the transfer assembly for mounting of a leaf switch, which is provided by PSP with the KTSE-1. The leaf switch opens and closes when the ATS transfers. More recent versions of the RXT transfer switch omit the mounting holes, so PSP also provides with the KTSE a normally open block relay with a 240-volt coil. The normally open relay closes as the coil is energized and opens when de-energized. Please note that either the normally open relay or the leaf switch will be used, not both. Please also note that use of the leaf switch is preferred. So if you have both the old style and the new style of RXT transfer switch, you should use the old style as your primary ATS and the new style as the secondary ATS. Let's first cover installation on the old style of transfer switch. In the primary ATS, install the PSP provided leaf switch as shown, so that the action of the ATS changing state will depress the actuator and close the switch. In the secondary ATS, unplug the P13 connector from the factory controller, remove the controller, and return it to inventory. Install the KTSE module in place of the factory controller. Plug the P13 connector into the provided K1 harness, then plug the K1 harness into the KTSE. Connect terminals common and normally open on the PSP provided leaf switch in the primary ATS to the 2 transfer terminals on the KTSE. Connect terminals power and common in the primary ATS to the 12-volt DC terminals on the KTSE. We will now cover installation with the new style of RXT transfer switch. In the primary ATS, install the PSP-provided normally open block relay. Connect coil A of the relay to terminal EL2. Connect coil B to the normally closed terminal on the existing microswitch in the ATS. Please note that this is not the PSP-provided leaf switch. Normally closed terminal is the only open terminal on the existing microswitch. In the secondary ATS, unplug the P13 connector from the factory controller, remove the controller, and return it to inventory. Connect common and normally open on the PSP-provided block relay in the primary ATS to the transfer terminals of the KTSE-1. Connect terminals power and common in the primary ATS to 12-volt DC terminals on the KTSE-1. With the KTSE-1 installed, you can simulate an outage by turning off the service disconnect in the primary transfer switch. The generator will start and signal the primary ATS to transfer. If the secondary or any additional transfer switches fail to transfer immediately, use the following steps to troubleshoot. Step 1, verify if the LED on the KTSE-1 is on at the time of transfer to generator power. If the LED is on, but the secondary ATS did not transfer, then check the connection between the K1 harness and the main RXT harness to ensure it is plugged in and fully engaged and no pins are bent or damaged. Then re-engage the P13 connector to the KTSE-1 and ensure that you hear it click into place. If the LED is not on and the secondary ATS did not transfer, verify the 12-volt battery source to ensure proper voltage. Measure 12-volt DC to ground to ensure proper battery source at 13 volts. If you measure less than 10 volts, battery source should be verified and replaced. If the 12-volt battery source is good, then check the 2 transfer connections by removing them from the normally open and common block relay, the new style switch, or the leaf switch on the old style. Short the normally open and common wires together. This should trigger the LED on the KTSE-1 to go on and off when you separate the wires. This helps ensure a good connection between primary and secondary for the KTSE-1 to receive the transfer signal, and that there are no shorts or open wire between the trigger and the KTSE-1 transfer terminals. If after attempting these steps, the KTSE-1 does not transfer or the LED does not turn on at the time of transfer, call technical support.